What's going on, guys? My name is Jed Thomas, and this is Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
And welcome to the Jed and Ryan experience. Our goal is to connect and inspire fellow young people just like you and me to achieve greater heights.
Absolutely.
So, on today's episode, the first episode, we're gonna talk about goals and dreams. You know, I think we all have goals. We all have dreams.
We
Right?
do, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they take a wrong aspect on how to achieve their goals or
Right.
how to dream.
Right.
And they feel very lost, and they just
They can be, yeah.
and then they just never do it, and then
Right.
nothing ever happens, and
Right.
everything stays the same for them. So
Right.
what we're gonna do is show you guys the how-tos, or at least kind of elaborate a little bit more how you can become a little bit more successful and dream and set goals properly.
There you go.
That way, you actually start making some progress
All right.
and feel a little bit liberated. So yeah,
So
let's get right
let's
into
start
it.
with your goals.
Awesome. Well,
So Ryan has goals.
I have goals. Just like hopefully you guys have goals too. And
Yeah.
if you guys
Give us
don't,
some examples,
if
right?
you guys don't, at least after this, you guys should actually start learning how to
create goals and
your
dreams,
goals.
right?
Definitely,
Exactly.
definitely. Well, for me, I want to get into what is the difference between a goal and then what is a dream. Because
Okay.
oftentimes people think they're making
The
these
same
goals,
thing, or yeah,
but they're just dreams at
Dreams,
the end
right.
of the day, and then it's gone. Like we all
Right.
dream. Like you wake up, have some breakfast, grab some coffee, and then you try to remember your dream,
Right.
and it's gone.
So to me, dreams is like creating a vision. So it's having like a vision, right? So like to me, dreaming is like, you know, in your head, you're gonna be like, oh, I want a Ferrari, or I want a certain Mercedes, or I want a Lamborghini, or whatever it may be, or I want a dream job, or dream career, or some sort of like a certain lifestyle that you wanted. You know, whatever that lifestyle may be. Maybe living in the woods, right? Nothing wrong with that. Or living in a big ass mansion, or having a certain jobs. So dreams is just only having that vision, but you're still doing the same thing day in and day out, not creating the paths and, you know, creating the stepping block, the stepping stone to create that dream into reality, to turn that dream into reality.
Absolutely.
So that's the difference. My version is that your goal is creating your dreams into reality. You know?
Absolutely. So, for example, for a dream of mine,
Yeah.
then I'll go into how you can create this into a goal. So for
Right.
me, I want to get a Mercedes AMG GTR. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys know about it, but it's
Hell
a
yeah.
really amazing Mercedes. If you don't know what it is,
Yes!
take a look at it. It's
Yes!
he loves Mercedes.
I'm all
Here,
Mercedes.
I love it too.
I love it, man.
So the difference is, for me, I know that's what I want to have.
Yeah.
I know to the great detail about what the leather is going to look like. I know that I want to have like a burgundy interior. What color is going to be matte gray, right? So instead of me just being like, okay, the difference between most people's dreams is that they dream like, okay, I want to have my dream car. I want to own a Mercedes.
Right.
And that's about it.
Right.
But the difference of that being a little bit more of a calculated dream will be, okay, cool, I want to have a Mercedes, but what model? Okay, I want to have the AMG GTR Mercedes. Okay, cool. Well, what color Mercedes do I want to get? For me, I want to have matte gray. That's like beautiful for me.
Right.
Maybe for you, it might be your favorite color. It might be red, or it might be green, blue, right?
And feel what that's like to walk into
Absolutely.
the dealership and get it.
Absolutely. And this is all very
And
important.
the feeling.
And we're going to get right into this.
Right.
The thing is, and then what is the interior going to be like? What is it going to sound like when you start it up? Is it going to be push button start, or are you going to have to turn a key?
Right.
Right? And the reason for that is, it comes back to what we said about most people just dream, and then once they wake up, how breakfast it's gone. If
Right.
you start to embed and ingrain the specificity of your dream into your brain, it's like a constant reminder, and then it's not going to go away, right? So now that you have this dream, that's the first part, and then you can go about setting the goals. So the how-to is like, okay, cool, if I want to get this Mercedes, right, how much does it cost? And then how much do I have now in my bank account? Okay, maybe I got to start saving $200 a month. And then over the course of the year, 250 times 12 months, $3,000. Okay, now do I like invest it? Like, how am I going to get these? Maybe I should start, doing garage sales on the side for 5 years, 5-year plan. I'll have that car, like the actual steps. I mean, that's the difference between at least my goal of having my dream car, the AMG GTR, and then start setting the goals. We can get a little bit into that further, but how about for yourself?
Well,
what
sometimes also it's good to have a mentality set where it's like a do or die. A lot of times that's what worked for me. It's like when I got my Mercedes, I have my CLS. I've always wanted a CLS, and when I got my Mercedes, it's like a do or die. like it's a do or die thing. Like I need to get this. There's no other way that I'm backing out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to have it. So I somehow make that path, right? Make that way to get it. And now I got it. And now I'm gonna set my next goal. My goal right now is to get the Aventador SVJ Lamborghini. So that's same thing. I'm gonna apply the same kind of mindset. It's like, I did all the dream aspect of it. Like, how's it feel when you're sitting inside it? The color of the interior, what color I want, the feeling, what's it like? Walking into like Lamborghini of Newport Beach and here's the money.
I love doing that.
Here's the money. Signing the paper.
And the stuff is very important. And for most people, they might think this is fairy tale. Like
it's not.
And oftentimes they think, okay, cool. Like if I'm just dreaming, like what is it supposed to like fall in my lap? Like 10 years from now, I'm gonna open up my garage and it's gonna be a mistake. Like okay.
Yeah.
So the first step, like you're mentioning, is visualizing the goal, like the dream, and that's important because the first, like I said earlier. Typically, people just make these dreams and then they forget about it and it's gone. And they go on to the next thing, right? Or they don't become specific. The more specific you are aligned with your dream and goal is that relates to a higher probability of it actually coming true.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you're, like you elaborate, your dream, or it's like actually going and visualizing you writing the check for it.
Yeah.
But now people need to understand the goal. How to set the goal.
Now how do we... set the pathway.
Absolutely.
Because the way I look at it, setting goals or whatever. It's like those board games. It's like, and you got this maze. Like you're over here, and this is the maze, and then the end goal is right here at the top. And you gotta like walk through these mazes. Sometimes you're gonna hit a dead end. You gotta start again. And it doesn't matter how many times you start again, but as long as you are doing it. And you have a clear vision, and you're determined, and you want to set that goal to make that dream a reality, so for you to get whatever it is that you want, you just got to keep doing it, set the path, and you'll get there. You know what I mean? It may take longer than normal, but that's okay,
Right.
So don't be afraid of the challenge. So another topic that we're going to, not topic, but another point that we're going to talk about is, people having a dream job or a dream career.
Uh-huh.
I've met so many people in my life. Well, I'm an artist, and I travel all around the world. I exhibit my art all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
And people always look at my lives like, man, like, I wish I could do that, Jed. I wish I could be that or do that, whatever it is. And then I said to them, it's like, you know what? You could do it too. These are my friends who are also in the creative field, And I always tell them, and again, you don't have to be a creative guy. This is not catered only to the artist, but whatever that job that you want to achieve, whatever that career that you want to achieve, you can do it. You just gotta take that leap. You know what I mean? You gotta be brave enough to do the leap. Like I have friends in the Midwest, or friends in the South, or friends out there in the East Coast, and they're creative people, right? So they're like, man, I wish I could work in the creative industry. I could work in this. I could work in that. Well, you just gotta find, the capital of entertainment, the capital of creators and the creatives are in LA, are in California.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So why not make the move to California so that your dream job can happen? Because I've seen that happen so many times with my favorite bands. One of my favorite bands of all time is Motley Crue, and look at Nikki Sixx. You know what I mean? Nikki Sixx is not always from LA. He was born in San Jose, and he lived in Idaho, and he lived in Albuquerque, and he lived in Washington, But somehow at age 17, Nikki made his own way to LA.
Yeah.
And so determined, made his way to LA, created a band, started a band. His first band was London in LA. And after London, he created Motley Crue. And look at Motley Crue, right?
Look at him now. So, I feel like the question that most people get fixated on is like, okay, what if I jump into it? What if I start to pursue my dream job? Whether it's like the nursing career, or what if it's, starting your own tech company? They're just like, okay, they're so content at where they are now, and there's like, what if I jump into it?
They're too scared.
But I think the question is, what if you don't?
Right.
What if you don't? What is your life going to be like? You're still going to be clocking into that 9 to 5 with that job that you hate, and there's never going to be any progression. You're going to have kids, and they're not going to like what if they don't look up to you? You know, like
Right.
what type of example would you set for them? Or
Right. So
if
like
you're- yeah.
I just want you know, people shouldn't be afraid, you know, to do what it takes
Absolutely.
to make that dream happen, to make that goal happen.
Right. And then also you have to be okay with the risk.
Yeah. Taking risks.
And then take the chances.
Right.
Right? What are the chances in between?
See, a lot of people are so afraid of the unknown.
Right.
You know,
and it hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, that's exactly
right.
People are so scared. You know, before they even do anything, they're already saying like, oh, "What if it doesn't happen? What if this happened? What if this doesn't work out? What if that doesn't work out?" Well, you know, like you haven't even done it. You haven't even done it. It's
literally paralysis by analysis.
Right.
Like they spend so much time
overthinking.
You know what's crazy about it? If they would spend the same amount of time and energy when it comes to trying to figure out, exactly.
Right.
They spend so much time figuring out, like, okay, what if I don't do this? Like, what, like,
yeah,
I don't know this, I don't have this. Like,
yeah.
if you spent that same time and just simply jump in, you will figure it out.
Right, you'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out along the way.
It's like someone who wants to try to, you know, to learn how to swim.
Right.
You know, before you jump into the water, if you just start thinking like, oh, what if I drown?
Right.
What if I can't pedal? What if I can't touch the bottom of the pool? You're not gonna, if you have all these thoughts, these overthinking thoughts, you'll never jump in the pool.
You'll never jump in. And people it's a reality for us. Like, I'm sure some of you guys can resonate to this. Like, people procrastinate for years.
Right.
They get locked into
and then they say, oh man, I wish I started that sooner.
Yeah, and the best time to start is, it sounds so cliche.
Right.
but the thing is, the best time to start is now.
Right now.
Literally right now. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to just procrastinate before
and you're never going to do it.
You're never going to do it. And then you're going to, before you know it, you're going to snap your fingers and then be 40 or 60. And then it's just going to be like you're not going to have the same energy as you had today.
Yep.
Like, you're not going to feel better than what you do today at achieving it. Like, you're just gonna wait, and then you're never gonna get to it.
Exactly.
So you got to be okay with the risk. Like, they're very minimal, and like the thing is, a lot of people think if they just fail, like it's over for them. Like no, like you're failing forward. Like even if things don't work out in the first time, right? You still learn the skills and tactics that will be developed for you to actually achieve what you want. So
there's a saying: failure is your stepping stone to success.
Literally, fail forward.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Fall forward. That. Yeah, exactly.
Stepping success.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And it's true. It's it's like at the gym, right? I love using this analogy. I actually just got started working out the other day, so it's pretty cool. So a lot of times, if you step into the gym and say if you're trying to bench press, right, and like say if you're like very skinny or whatever, you're not going to be able to bench press 2 plates, which is 245.
Right.
But you might be able to lift 85 pounds or whatever not, or you might just be able to lift the bar. But the more you do it,
the better you get at it.
Absolutely, you're going to start building the muscles. And sometimes you might even try to get a little too big for your britches and try to like lift it and like you fail, right? It's okay. But now you're going to tear your muscle fibers and you're going to rebuild them, and now you're going to be stronger the next day, right? The next week, the next month. You're going to get stronger and stronger. And then you're going to become that person after failure, because you're failing forward, stepping stones, right? And then you're going to be able to actually be that person who is living that dream, dream that you actually turned into goals.
Because I took risk when I was 19. My entire family moved to Australia when I was really young, when I was like 8. And then, and I took risk, like after high school, my family stayed in Australia, but I said to my parents, like, I'm a creative guy. I love music and I love art. So whatever happens in life, I can only do the creative stuff. I need to make this creative path to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to settle and work a job that I don't like as my career. So to me, it's like, well, I have to make it as either as a musician or as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, I don't see any opportunity for artists in Australia. So I packed my bag, a backpack and a suitcase. And I saved up money and I bought myself a one-way ticket back to California. Because I know California is the capital of entertainment and for creative people. So to me, it's like the only way I'm going to have a chance in life doing what I want to do is to leave my friends behind in Australia, to leave my family behind in Australia, They still live there, and fly home to California by myself, right? Fly back to California by myself and figure it out. You know what I mean? In the beginning, I was living in a car. You know what I mean? When I first moved back to California, I was living in a car. You know what I mean? And got no friends, whatever. And but then like that's your first step already. Your first step is already here in California. And now I'm working I'm achieving that my goal, my career goal, which is an artist. I travel all around the world, all around the country, selling my art. I make art as my career. I made it happen because I took that leap,
right,
and that risk.
Took the leap of faith,
right,
and jumped into it,
instead of like me sitting in Australia. I was like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? So instead, I just, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So I'm gonna pack my bag, go against my parents' will.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. So I flew back.
Well, what type of person did that make you? Like you exercise so much grit, you cultivated so much fortitude. You're a better person than you would have been if you just sat and you learned so many experiences.
Right.
That not doing it, you wouldn't have learned.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Yeah. It's just as simple as that.
Right. Exactly. So now
we get it. It's hard sometimes, but you just gotta sometimes not just think and just do it. And it sounds cliche, but it's so true.
You know what I mean? Because so many people.
There's so many examples around.
So many examples. Not just only me and him, but there's a lot of people out there. I mean, we both look up to a lot of really successful people who took risks.
And I'm sure you guys know people too. Just look at your favorite people who you look up to, your favorite influencers. Like they start and they just jump in and they just did it, right?
Could be musicians.
It could be anyone. It
could be an entrepreneur.
TV show reality people.
Right.
Anything. They
all did it because they all took risks.
Absolutely. So I think what we should get into now is the exercises on how to dream correctly. Right.
So that leads to that.
Right. So there's actually exercises that you can do because at first it's a little bit hard to get very specific on your goals, especially if you had an entire life track history of just like having the thinking and dreaming that you currently do. So there's exercises on how you can shift that and to start dreaming a little bit more correctly per se. So for example, I was mentioning earlier the AMG GTR. So instead of me just waking up and be like, okay, cool, I want to have a car. Like you have to think of it to the specific detail, right? So even if it's not like a car, like what if you want to get like a new boat or
or a new job,
or a new
lifestyle,
right? Or
like living in a cabin somewhere because you may like the
a dream
wilderness.
House. That's something people can relate to a house, right? So the dream house, what's the square feet, right? There's actually a free site tool that you can go to, Zillow. Right. Look at Zillow, or what I love to do.
Yeah,
Instagram. I love to subscribe to some of my favorite pages that show like these dream houses, and they show you a tour of the house. Right. So instead of you just being like, okay, cool. When I turn 40 and when I retire, like I want to have like this massive house, right? Okay, well, massive house is very big. There's a lot of massive houses out there.
So you look at the budget, how to budget yourself.
How high are the ceilings going to be?
Right.
Like what type of carpet or hardwood floors?
Right.
Then
you break it down.
You break it down. Now you break it down to goals, right? So step by step.
Right. So you step by step. It's like you kind of like budget yourself.
Right.
See how much you got to prepare.
Absolutely.
How to prepare it.
Absolutely. For housing, a lot of times credit factors into it. So if you start today, right? If you're, okay, cool, I want to have a 5-year goal, 10-year goal. Right. What is your credit score now? How can you improve it, right?
Yeah.
Because people are they're thinking too far ahead. Like you have to just take step by step, like a roadmap, like GPS. If I was in Long Beach and I decided that, hey, I want to
go to San Jose or something.
Yeah, bike to Calabasas. Like, okay, if I'm in Long Beach, I know it's going to be a little bit like west, right? So if I'm just on a bike taking the road, I might run into an alley and then you got to take the step by step. Think of it like GPS, turn by turn direction, right? So. And there's exercises. Like, you can literally write down your goals every single night.
Break it down. Because sometimes when you look at a goal, it could be, so big, and all of a sudden it's like, man, it's so big, it's so intimidating, and then it might scares you,
Yeah.
But sometimes when you look at something and it's like, okay, it's so big, but let's break it down. Into smaller pieces, then all of a sudden it's a little more easier to look at it and tackle it.
Right.
So it's like that. So...
Yeah, and you might be thinking, okay, how small? Like, for example, if it was like a house where you check your credit, okay, how can I improve it if your credit's just terrible, right? A lot of people, like, okay, what bills can I pay off? Like, call up the company, try to consolidate it.
Right.
Do little skills like that. Maybe you should get like an advisor,
right.
someone who can like manage your money, teach you how to grow it. Right. Start small. Like literally, it's a long haul game. Like when it comes from massive goals, the bigger the goals, the more massive action you have.
It's like video games. You know, I don't play video games, but I'm sure like a lot of people, young people today, they play video games. Like before you reach your final step, your final level to fight the boss, you gotta go through all these levels, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I used to play Doom, and all that kind of stuff.
I used to play that too.
Right. Before you get to level 20, you gotta go through level 1 to 19 before you get to level 20 to fight the big boss.
That's so true.
Right?
Yeah.
And you gotta
level up the character.
Right.
Like if the experience level of your character in the game, if you were to fight the boss, like you're just gonna get like wiped out.
Exactly. So you gotta break it down, and like your each level is so that you could get better at playing this game, and
and you get wiser.
You get wiser. Yeah.
Like and the beauty of taking these small little steps, they're like small wins too.
Right.
Because oftentimes, like I've been there too. Like if you want to set this massive goal and you think like, how am I gonna do it? Like how am I going to get there? And if you try to take, like, you're scared of taking a step and then being judged, right? People are going to judge you. And then if you step and then like you fall or whatever not, then it's a lot to take in. Like I understand. But if you're taking the small little steps, you're kind of setting yourself up for success. Goals. You got to win the day.
Yeah, because when you let's say your goal is this big and you break it down to 10 steps, 10 small pieces. You look at it, 10 small pieces. When you achieve piece number 1, you succeed.
You feel great.
You feel great.
You feel amazing.
Right. You feel amazing that you have completed level 1.
Right.
And now, okay, I can do level 1, so let's do level 2.
Yeah. Right.
And
you gotta think of it like percentage numbers. Like, okay, cool. Like out of 100, right? So you do step 1, like you said, right? 10%. You did 10% of that goal, right? And then you do the next step. Okay, cool. I have 20%, right? And then you're getting wiser and wiser. And then you might try to take a step. You might like mess something up.
Right.
But you still gain, like, let's say you gain 3% on that.
Right.
You still gain the knowledge. Like you're not failing. Like you're still progressing. You're still making the progress.
Yeah, it's all about making progress.
And you're growing. And there's so many things that you can do. Like say, like whatever it's like buying the house, like we were saying, or getting your dream car. Like read books on how to get the real estate. Because there's people who and that's another great exercise on how to do the how-tos. Like people dedicated their entire lives to writing these books they can read out. And sometimes people graduate college or high school and they never read a book again. Right? You got to realign with that because people spend their entire life dedicating all their experiences into that book. And then that's kind of like a cheat sheet. Like you read that book, right? And then and oftentimes too, I used to fall into that too. Like what books do I read? Like almost any book, you're going to learn something new out of it, like whether it's like new vocabulary, like you're becoming a new version of yourself. That way you might attract more people into your life that can help you achieve those things.
Yes.
Sometimes it's lonely doing it alone. So maybe try to reconnect with people who have the same purpose, like the same goal. Like we're more alike than what we're not alike, right? So just start to do things that are going to attract the right people into you. Because sometimes if you're not aligning with those purposes, you're attracting the wrong people. You're getting people who are going to criticize you. People who have a smaller way of thinking, right? So you got to do the things to improve yourself first, right? You got to level up yourself to enable yourself to reach those higher goals,
right?
And then it doesn't seem too much like a dream anymore,
right?
It's more of a step-by-step roadmap.
And then you break those down, like I said, and looking at one big piece is so big. It's like eating a bread. You're not gonna just put the whole entire loaf in your mouth.
No.
You're gonna chew it out, right? Same thing with goals. The goal is like this big piece of gold right here.
Yeah.
So you're going to break it down into 10 steps, 20 steps, whatever steps it may be.
Definitely.
And those tiny little steps, each time you accomplish each of those levels, those are tiny little victories. Definitely. Those tiny little victories will pump you up for the next step, and next step, and next step, and next step. That's how I did it. You know what I mean?
And it works.
And it works.
And that's how everybody does it who you look up to. Like,
literally anybody.
Take an inventory. And that's literally how it does. So it's about taking the action. So, I mean, we're really good at these analogies, right? We're nearing towards the end.
Right. So
I think the next step.
A lot of times people, when they look at these goals, like I said, they get so intimidated. And those intimidating feeling is your limiting beliefs.
Right.
So in the next episode 2, we are going to cover the topic of limiting beliefs. What is limiting beliefs and how to overcome limiting beliefs and teach you how to get past that And then
the actual how-tos on how. So now that you understand how to set your proper dreams and
Yeah.
proper goals, right? You know how to make the list, build the list, like we said. We're gonna go over how to get rid of those limiting beliefs in your mind
next
that are
episode.
holding you back, and
Yeah.
little exercises on that
Yeah.
we can just propel to the
Yeah,
next step.
so like, you know, now we can create your goals, create your steps. Next one, we're going to talk about limiting beliefs and how to get rid of those limiting beliefs so that you can get going with your goals and your steps.
Absolutely. Well, hey, it's
So-
been great chatting with you guys.
Yeah.
This is Jed. I'm Ryan, and see you guys at the top.
All right.